Hey everybody, it's Rob from Flailthroughs. This is Gundam Breaker, and I've gotten a few new parts since I last recorded. Nothing great. I have a Master Grade Cubely backpack now, which is nice. And a high new Gundam Shield. I don't think I had that the last time. So, a few little things, but still using the Crossbone X1 in high grade, because it turns out there aren't that many heads that are that good at sword. And you probably can't tell because it's a very generic Gundam-y color scheme, but I have based this off of the G-Self in Mobile Suit Gundam Reconquista in G, which just started this last week. And so far, I kind of like it. It's a Tomino Gundam series, and that has a lot of baggage, good or bad, and, it's really kind of playing right up to his, whether you want to call them strengths or weaknesses, his style. You've got a nice angsty death in episode 2. Light spoilers for this. And I finally figured out by watching it the thing about Tomino's style that is weird and that I like sometimes, and more often anymore I do not. That being that he writes backwards. Most things I read anymore, they fill you in on the characters' personalities and emotional states and give little hints as to what is actually going on in the setting as opposed to detailing them at length. This is the precise opposite of that. The setting, in other things, the setting will just kind of come up and smack you in the face once, it's necessary to know more about it. But in this, no, that's the character's emotions that will do that. The, end of episode 2 being a perfect example. But we will go on at length about the world and, clue people in very gradually about things. But ooh, Death Scythe Hellbody. Master grade at that. But, if you have never watched a Tomino Gundam series, so far it looks like this might be a good place to start. If you have a pretty good idea of what you're going to get. Even, it's a little bit lighter than some of his darkest, heaviest stuff so far, but not by a mile. There's some interesting and, potentially very heavy things going on in that. And I'll be interested to see where it goes with it. But yeah, it's, this is definitely a return to form after the slightly, lighter aspects of Turn A Gundam. Things I don't like, there are 2 women in the series so far that are not cheerleaders. That seems kind of a waste. You can't tell me that everyone going to, prestigious upper-class space school becomes a cheerleader. But anyone who is not a cheerleader is not from prestigious upper-class space school, so maybe so. Okay, a heat sword. There are a lot of women in the cast so far, which is great. And of that fairly large group, there's about maybe 4 so far that are not decorative. Also, the main character's mother is a woman with a career, so if Tomino holds to form, she is marked for death. But yeah, it's interesting. I'll probably watch more of it. If it goes too far into the Tomino tropes, I may just, let it be, but we'll see what happens. Nothing I watched really put me off, but again, it's just more, more of the same. You know, seeing things here that would not have been out of place in Zeta Gundam, in Char's counterattack, in Victory, in the original Gundam, you know. He seems to have some different underlying philosophical concepts that he wants to address with the whole the world should be covered in solar panels thing, but I don't know. Ale Strike Backpack, cool. But unless it has funnels, I don't want to know it. Okay, that is a Gelgud Cannon backpack on something fancied up to look like a dual Gundam Assault Shroud. Neat. I wonder what head they were using to make that look like a strike dagger. I'm glad I'm getting a bunch of master grade parts, because most of these things seem to be high grade so far, but... well, this strike doesn't. It's reasonably tall. Let's see. Stab you. Stab you again. Okay, go get that one. You look so tiny. Okay, here's a bunch of them in perfect formation. Bye now. Okay, that worked out. Next section. How many more are there? 3. Okay. Funnels out. Let's get rid of that. Defense fading, so that means I'm going to take extra damage until I kill that. Oh well, that's problem solved. Sometimes I don't understand why they chose what they did for this. I mean, there's not a huge difference between Strike and Strike Rouge. No real reason to have that as separate parts. Although, basically, I think it was probably chosen to save effort on programming, which is why there's so many strays in here. Why they didn't pick up Gold Frame too, I don't know, but... probably because if they had, people would have expected the Gold Frame Amatsu, and that was probably too complicated. Oh, funnels aren't ready. Now funnels are ready. But again, with all the variations and things, as opposed to whole other designs there are in this, you'd think the Gundam ground type would have been a natural, because there's so much parts reuse between that and EZ8 and the gym ground type. They could have gotten a lot of mileage out of that, and they probably will next game. But I would like them to just... I know they won't, but I would love to see them commit to a single version of this game to keep updated with everything. That would be my dream. To have an all-inclusive Gundam Breaker that had every possible part in perpetuity. If they wanted to do a free-to-play game, that might be an interesting choice, actually. Okay, a lot of beams going on around here. Heal my guy. Oh, he's got a lot of hit points if I can't heal him up to full. Almost got this one. Gotcha. Drop all your bits for me, please. Strike Gundam Body and Master Grade, another Heat Hawk. Oops, I let one of my people get killed, but... take down... Master Grade Integrated Weapons Striker Pack. Okay. Let me kill some of the other ones first. I want to get as many parts as I can. Okay, you're next. I need more saber power because this is getting... Oh, wow. They actually put a dent in me. That does not happen anymore. I'm going to have to equip more reactive parts, I see. If I can. Okay, well, that's everyone, so... I'm going to use a repair part. Man. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, it's the shrink ray. I've been shrink rayed, so... And there's some high rankers guarding it, so funnels out. Okay, there's my sword. Sword is charged. Let's get over here and get this done. Okay, now, swords for you. Takedown stab, takedown stab, takedown stab. One more. One more. Oh well. I'll finish off natural-like. Okay, attack me, please. I'm going to use you guys to charge my, my sword so I can kill you. It'll be along in a second. This place is kind of a mess. Okay, stab. Stab. Okay. I'm tired of you. Die, Mr. Beam Spam. Shields up. Recover face. Heal party. Charging, charging, charging. Funnels out. Everybody shoot me! I kind of wish there was a provoke command so that I could, you know, get them all focused on me so I could charge my Hyper Saber, but can't have everything. Okay, I'm going to save Hyper Saber because if there's not a boss here, there will be one next screen, so funnels out. Gotcha. Okay. Next victim. Healing up. Moving on. 3, 2, 1. Huge signs of enemy. A large enemy. A strike rouge. Okay. 3 life bars. Ow. Could I have my parts back, please? Okay, if you got 3 life bars, let's start sorting you now. Ow. I want that back. That's mine. Okay. Are those... I'm assuming that these are fancied up to be more or less M1 strays guarding her. I say her even though it doesn't have a pilot. Don't mind me. Okay, let's get the first life bar dealt with. Get some of the ouch. Get some of the ouch. Funnels out. Oh, now it's a launcher strike rouge, of course. Okay, here's some ancient action figure history for you. The strike rouge was originally... Okay, this story actually goes back farther than I thought it did. Okay, when Gundam Seed came out here, and the story goes that it was held back for, that Zeta Gundam was held back in favor of Seed, which, if so, that was really dumb, because that was like a year of no new figures, almost. But, by which time, of course, Gundam was pretty well dead in the US. But, okay, the first assortment of Seed stuff in the US, which is the only one we ever got, had every form of the Strike Gundam except Sword Strike. Ale Strike was like a deluxe box set with the Sky Grasper. Really nice, have that. The Launcher Strike was a deluxe, and unlike the Japanese equivalent of that backpack, the US version actually has a firing missile and does it in such a nice, unobtrusive way. It does not make the toy look any worse at all. It's really, really well done. But, okay, so Sword Strike was supposed to be in the next assortment. Never happened. Okay, Ale Strike and Strike Rouge decals. Okay, so Twin Beam Spear, Death Scythe Hell, Strike Gundam, Ale Strike Gundam, IWSP, Beam Saber, yes, Heat Swords, no, Heat Hawks, Beam Spray Gun, Strike Shield, sure, Strike Rouge Arms, why not? Okay, so just to finish, the only way Sword Strike wound up being available was in the first release of the MS in Action Strike Rouge, which was a Japanese-only release, just to, you know, be a problem number one for a lot of collectors. And number two was a very short production originally. They did reproduce it later, and I wound up with one thanks to my friend XV, but it was ages until I could get the Sword Striker. Turned out to be the weakest of the bunch, so, you know, not a huge loss, but still, that was just annoying, man.